So this is our current state. Do it like that. Okay. Now if you look from it from above, it still looks quite boring, since it's just flat here. So let's... before we do that, sorry, I just forgot to change this one here. We wanted to have it a little bit less orthogonal, so let's go to vertex selection and select all of those vertices here without this one. So just the lower, how can I call it, the edge values or the border values of this hull part and not of the deflector part. So let's move it along the y-axis a little bit, like this. And then we also need to move those vertices here a little bit. Let's maybe a little bit more along the y-axis, sorry. So. But if we box select them, we will just get those vertices in the backside too. So let's move it in a way that we can select just those vertices. Actually, the smartest way would be to select it from here, from both. Let's just see which vertices we have to move with that. So let's go to this upper view, or press number 7, and let's say B and select those vertices. So make sure that we just have this vertices of the edge and move it a little bit backwards along the y-axis too, like that. So not so much like the lower ones, but still a little bit. Let's look from it from the side view, and now let's rotate it a little bit like that, so that we have a diagonal area here. This can be still like it is. Oops. So. And another thing I wanted to do is go to edge selection, select this edge, also this edge, let's see, yeah, and move it a little bit in the other direction, so to the front, like this. So, okay, maybe a little bit down. This. The reason why I'm doing that is of course the design of the ship. It should have more depth, should not look the same everywhere. And another reason why I put this in the move this in the front to the front direction is that when this is glowing, it will look hopefully cool if it close to here, you know, if it well, the shading will look cool. So we have this now, and then now we can go to the upper view and go to edge selection like we have already, alt select, so loop select those vertices, and before we do that again, sorry, let's select this vertex and put our cursor again to the median point of these two vertices, so cursor to select it, and then we can edge, loop select those vertices again, say choose our CVD cursor as the median point again and scale it down. So, like that. And those vertices actually you can scale up. Scale up a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Then actually, let's just see what happens if we scale this up, so that we have more like yeah, quite okay. But then we need to go to see-through mode, and we were already. We'll select these vertices and move them more down. Okay, and again those, and scale them even more, but just along the y-axis. Z. So let's control our. Okay. Well, that's okay. It's okay if that's not perfectly. Oh, it is perfectly flat. Okay. Okay. So looks much better than the beginning now. This one was the one which we scaled up. Let's scale it a little bit more up along the x-axis. Sorry, like this. So. So another thing is that I want a more clear edge here. So let's go to loop cut, select, and let's make this. And scale it up along the x-axis. Oops. But just a little bit. Or scale it down. Oops. If we scale it down, we... Oops. Yeah, doch. We will have something like that here. So a hole. That could be a nice design element too, but actually I don't want it. So let's scale it out instead of in, like that. Okay, so the edge here is much sharper now, or it's much more sharp. Okay. So already quite okay. Maybe just one thing left. Yeah, let's go to the upper view and select the whole deflector part with all of the hull and scale it a little bit down along the x-axis so that we have an even more round shape here. And because this is flat, we have like that, you know. And now if we go to edge selection and select all of these edges, we can also change the along the y-axis, sorry, not along the z-axis. Change this shape a little bit. So we could also scale it down along the y-axis, x-axis, sorry, to make it even more modeled, more designed, like this. Okay. Okay. So let's see how it looks with our other shapes attached. Not so bad. So let's select those both vertices, faces, objects, and move it to the front a little bit. Oops. This actually don't just make it like that, and then let's select this, scale it up. Okay. A little bit more. So. And now we need to connect those both objects. So let's save it and save another file calling it tutorials v B modeling the body throat. I hope I spelled it correctly. And let's immediately continue with modeling the throat. For this we can deactivate the warp engines, we don't need it here. Maybe this shape is not so nice. Yeah, okay. Let's see, we don't have a loop cut here, so we can't change it. So we'll just add a loop cut here. Go to the side view, other side view. It looks like that. I want a line here, so let's say scale along the y-axis. Oops, this time the median point, scale along the y-axis like that. Okay, and then this part is already okay, so I want just those and those. Actually, I want just the vertices, or just the edge here is enough. Go down a little bit. Or we can actually, yeah, we can actually increase its height and add a shuttle bay here. So let's do that first. No, duck. Oops, remove see-through vertices so that we can easier select them and say only faces. Oh no, not only faces. X, all faces. Now we have this hole here. Let's close it by, let's think. We're going to the back view, which is this one. And then select this and this edge and go back into the back view again. Oops, this is the back view actually. And extrude it, move it down along the Z axis a little bit and scale it down along the Z axis. And also along the X axis, but with the 3D cursor as our median point again, so something like that. Okay. Since this is already flat, we just need to extrude those both edges. Now extrude, scale it down along the Z axis and along the X axis again, like this. Actually, let's say scale that 0 and then move it up. Exactly like that. And up. So all of them should be on one line, so scale that 0. Of course, sorry, but now we need the median point again. So scale that 0. Look it from the behind again, and we see that this is still too high. So let's move it down until it looks close from this view. Of course, we still have this hole. Okay, then let's select edge selection and select this edge and say F on the. Sorry, I lost my key monitor again. This face and this face, edge, this edge and this edge. So now it's closed. Say smooth, like here. Okay. This doesn't look so good. So let's select those both edges and move it along the y-axis and along the x-axis. No, this doesn't help us. Okay. Do we have a hole here? Yes, we have a hole here. So let's remove this vertex here. This was not so good. So let's that we have a hole again. Go to edge selection and let's find those both meshes. And then we should be able to find those both meshes, and then it looks much better. So like that. Then actually let's select this edge and this edge and scale it up a little bit, but where's our 3D cursor? Oh, our 3D cursor is not in a good position right now. So let's select this vertex and say shift cursor to select it, then go back to edge selection, select this edge and this edge and this edge and scale them up. Oh. Along the 3D cursor and scale them up. Okay. And then you can go to vertex selection and select this vertex and move it a little bit down inside. We might need more space here, so let's select this edge and move it up. So if we look from the side view, it's actually quite good. Okay. Only thing what I don't like is that this and this should then be a little bit higher, and actually then this one too. So let's say move it along the Z axis a little bit. Then let's deselect this one. Control Z. Shift this one and move them the other two a little bit up, and then just this one. Okay. Save it. Looks like the shape got a little bit smaller because of our changes now. So let's go to edge selection and select all of these edges here and move them a little bit along the y-axis. Then also those edges. So quite okay right now. We'll save it. And now let's prepare the preparation or the outcoming part of our throat by selecting those. Deselect see-through, and then this faces. Select those faces and extrude it a little bit down and scale them along their median point a little bit down, so that we have a hole somehow. Let's get it a little more down. A hole for this road. What we could have done too is actually to extrude it out and let it be immediately the throat. But I want to have different the same object, but not connected vertices between the throat and the main body part, because it will make our life easier by texturing our file and selecting vertices which are linked together and something like that. We will see that later. Let's first remove the faces which are in the middle here. Okay, and okay. We made a hole here by removing them. So let's select. This happened because of the scaling down process before. So okay, this is okay. It's okay. Actually, it's not so important if you're not able to close this hole, since we will put our throat on it. But we will do it perfect anyway, as good as possible. So okay, now it's closed. Perfect. Save. And now we can just say quite easy copy those faces, Shift D, left mouse button, then E and Z, move it down so that we don't see it anymore. Then press E for extrude and pull it out again. So until here. Because there was an edge here, we also extruded a face here. We could have deleted the edge before, but we will just do that now. Select by removing the faces here, so let's say X faces. Look, and our mesh here got immediately connected. Oh, here's another one. So let's see from the front. Okay, now it's okay. Okay. And one of the advantages of making different separated vertices here between this roll part and third part is actually so that we can say L to select linked vertices, and it's much easier this way to select vertices and texture it afterwards. Of course, we could use vertex groups like we see before too, but I like to separate all of those separated parts actually. So let's select the face in the front here and move it a little bit to the front, like that. Go to see-through by Z, by pressing Z, and select the inner faces of this. So here we see, for example, it's difficult to differentiate the vertices. Actually, it's quite clear. These with the faces we search are those faces which are below the part. But if it is too complicated for you because there are too many faces, just select all of these vertices here and say H for height, and then you can easily select the correct faces and move them down. More down, or let's extrude it again along the Z-axis, then our shape will be quite sharp here immediately. We'll have here again wrong faces, the same which we had right now, so let's delete them and press Alt-H to let our hidden vertices appear again. Okay, so now this one should be quite flat, exactly. Let's select them and say how standard assign, so that the same material is used. And now let's deselect this one. So okay, we want to connect, make a roll from here to here and something like here to here. So the one thing we could do is extrude it and move it to here. The bad thing about this is that all the vertices are diagonal, then the faces actually are diagonal and not like the squares here in the background. And this will make our technique of modeling our texture quite difficult. So we will be more careful here. So let's select all these faces, and first let's scale them down. Oh, we didn't select all vertices. So go to see-through again, and now, okay. And we will take care of having nice faces here. It depends where we want to have our windows actually. So let's again first extrude that and move it up along the Z-axis until we reach the half part of our saucer section. So looks ugly right now. So let's loop, cut and slide this one. Yes. Exactly. And now instead of no, actually yes. Let's give me a moment. So now let's deactivate see-through. Takes this one. And takes this one. Oh, We have faces here again? Yes, we have faces here again. So first we should go to see-through again and take this face, and this face, and remove them. Oh, here's another one. So, oh, here's another one. And here. Oh, no, not this one. This one we can just hide. And say here, faces. And then unhide again. So now it looks good. But you know, then let's select this face, and we should not change the height of these edges here. Just the one of this edge. Move it down. Well, this one, and move it down too. And this one, and move it down too. No. Actually here we want to have this edge on the edge of the saucer, like that. Let's look from it more. Yes. Y axis. Yeah, like this. Okay. Of course we don't want to have the shape like that. So we want to reduce the height of it more. But we don't want to move this face. So let's select those edges here and move this completely down a little bit, so that we have more place to go down, more space. Then we don't want to have windows here anymore, so we can actually take those edge and those edge and those edge, this edge and this edge, and this one too, and move them down, scale them down along the z-axis, move them more down. Okay. Yes. So let's take those both edges and move them closer to this one. So let's Ctrl Z. Okay. Then go to the side view again. We need to move this one to here actually. And this one we need to move along the y-axis too. And then we can take this edge and this edge. Okay. This edge, and this edge, and this edge. Scale them down along the z-axis more and more, and move them down. Oh, then we scaled it too much. Oh, I lost them. Oh, I hid them. Then we can move this one more down too. That. Oh. We have a cross here, so don't want a cross here. Move it up again, like this. So, and then we need another loop cut and slide. We need another loop cut and slide here, and put it to here. This is important because I want to have all these vertices here, the faces, to be structured. So, already not bad. Let's save it, but not finished, of course. Actually, I don't like the shape so much here. So let's add another loop cut and slide, and let's say that our windows finish here. So let's select those. Edges and move them. This was not good. So go to see-through mode, select this edge, go up, so then select this single vertex and move it here, this single vertex to move it to here, and also we can put repair those vertices here. Okay. Okay, now we could try how it looks if we take those vertices here and move them down. Okay. Then we can select those vertices here and move them down too. It looks like that, and then we can select those vertices here and move them down too. Okay. Another thing we want to have, we can have perfect, easily made faces, windows here, and here in the above part it's not needed anymore so much. So we have those part quite flat, and now we want to move this part to, so let's save it. So let's now select this edge here and this edge and move it along the y-axis like that. Go to the upper view and make sure we have median point selected as median point, or as our median point, pivot point. So, and then we rotated it, and it looks like that. Not so bad. Okay, this shape is of course not okay. Oh, oops. So 3D cursor, okay, so go back to 3D cursor and scale this one up along the x-axis. Okay. And then we need to take, what's that? We have a single edge here. Okay, of course. Scale this one down along the x-axis. And then we can also move that, scale that down along the x-axis, and that. And we have one more here and here, and scale them down along the x-axis too. So looks already better. So we can still scale it down, scale it down, scale it down, scale this one up, and this one too. Okay, so we have a nice rounding here. We still could do is move this one down, and this one, and this one again. Okay, save it again, and now let's select those both edges here and move it a little bit more closer to the, but then actually we need to select also this one and 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 this one, but not this one. Oh, yeah, and this one. And also this one. So, and the G, X, move it. So, choose our median point again and rotate it a little bit. Oh, don't rotate it, don't rotate it. No, we can rotate it. Of course, we can rotate it. And again a little bit the x-axis. So now, of course, we need to extrude this one too. So let's go to this view here. Oh, funny, there's something coming out here. So let's go to edge selection, select this edge and this edge, and move it into our mesh. So okay, but stop, undo that. Before we do that, we need another loop cut here. Put it there, and then we can select this edge and this edge and this edge and move it away. So save our file, go to edge and those. Okay, so let's now go to side view again and extrude our faces until the middle of our saucer section, like that. Go to median point again, which we already have. Let's just think a moment. Scale it down. We can scale it down, or we could. Oh, we have the faces again. Okay. X faces. So we deleted this middle faces again. We don't want them. Okay, we have this shape here all over our model, and then we can actually select this edge, and this edge, face, sorry, and delete them. So we could also select this edge and delete them too, faces, sorry. So like this. Okay, then let's go to edge selection. Oh, wait a moment, what's that? Okay, this is of the other part of our ship. So let's go to edge selection and see through this edge. Genau, perfect. So by pressing this, actually you should let's unselect it first. So just select and press Alt and press this. Edge here. Then we have all the edges which are related, which is on this loop line, but we don't need this one. Oops, sorry. This one right now, and we don't need this one right now. So let's say extrude X and move it along the X-axis until we are in this middle. So let's just see if it looks okay. Yeah, quite okay, actually quite okay. Okay, and then we have a hole here again. So let's see if this is along the, okay, like that. No, it's, I think, the Z axis, exactly. So let's the hole where it is and go to edge, vertex selection, select the upper vertex and say cursor to selected, and then select the lower one and say selection to cursor, and then select both vertices like we already know. So let's select both of them and say remove doubles. We removed one vertex and we connected. And we connected our face. So we have a quite strange face here. I don't know how that happened. So scale down along the x-axis and move it to scale it down along the x-axis, I said, so, and move it along the x-axis, so that this is in the middle again. So we are able to select all of the faces at once by loop selecting them, and say scale x 0 to repair all wrong alignments. Looks already completely connected. Okay, say smooth. Okay, so not so bad. This one could be, of course, much more smoother. So go to side view and move it along the y-axis, sorry, until the half, or until here. So, okay, and then we can also scale the size of those edges down. Go to side view again and look on our ship. Okay. No, that's okay already. No, it's not okay. It's not good. Let's select this face here and move it up. So, like that. Now it looks good. So let's save it. Now we need even more bigger saucer section and move it to here. A little bit up maybe. Okay. Now we have this hole here. So like that. And we will repair that too, so let's take those edges and move it up. After we move that up, we can move this one up even a little bit more. And then let's add another loop cut and slide here. Move it to the outer part until here. Okay, this one annoys me a little bit, so let's select those and say edge loop, so that we have more flat area here. Yeah, much better. Oh, what's going on here? Haha, funny. So select all the faces which are here and move them up. Additionally, we could select this edge and scale it down. Just want to see if we have all faces here which we need. No. Let's additionally select this one, but first actually we have to, of course, move our cursor. Oops. Shift S our cursor there and choose it as our median point or pivot point again. So, not like that. So scale it down along the x-axis, like that. Okay. So then let's select those edges here and scale it down along the x-axis too. Now, here again we have an error, and you already noticed, maybe because we have a lot of edges right now, it already became more difficult. So let's select all of these faces here and hide them. Okay, tag those edges, not this, not Ctrl Z, just those should be enough, and move it along the x-axis. No. Sorry, so let's say Alt H again. So from this view it's more easy. Let's deactivate see-through, and then it's actually just this edge which we need to move. And this one actually, no, this one belongs to our deflector, so this one should be enough. Yes, it is enough. Okay. Another thing, this edge here, which we can almost not see, we can move a little bit more to this direction. Oh, there are more vertices here, so this one and this one we need also, and then move this one a little bit more. Okay. Oh no, let's undo that. This would make our textures again very difficult. So okay. So then just one thing, let's see. I want to have this shape a little bit sharper, so say loop cut and slide again, and move it to here. So then we can select this edge, move it a little bit more down. Then maybe those vertices and move them up a little bit. So, okay. Maybe this one might be a little bit too much, so move it a little bit back. And this one actually we can move a little bit more to here. So okay. So not so bad. Not so bad. Save it. I think this should be enough for modeling the body part. We of course need the connections to our warp engines, which are much too small now. So we have to optimize it. One thing I see is this one. We should move them closer to like that, exactly. Much better. Much better. So, I'm quite satisfied with the current mesh. I hope you like it too. Let's make a test rendering by moving our camera, by increasing the distance of our camera. Let's take a second view again. Or actually I can show you something else which I didn't show you, I think, until now, since now, that we can just do by opening the right menu of the scene view and say this toggle quad view stuff somewhere. Toggle quad view here under display. You can just say toggle quad view, and we will see your view from all important sides, so top, front, right, and camera view. And here in the above part, genau, oops, that wasn't the cam, so this is the cam, so we can just move it. Then here we can increase its height. Like that, and somewhere here we have our empty, which the cam targets. So like that. So save it and render it. So the final result looks like that. We of course don't have the connections right now, but whoa, I think our deflector looks quite cool. We should decrease the compositing here a little bit. But other than that, it's quite cool right now, and we need to texture our body. So that's enough for today, I think. See you in the next tutorial. Maybe texture the body and this world. See you.